Hey there, I know. This video was supposed to be gameplay, but the new launcher update broke old replays. Anyways, Goobstation has new antag, the Blob. I will showcase it and give a little advice since it's new. Blob is in a state of flux right now. It has some bugs and plan changes, so stay tuned to the change log for any changes. I have not rolled Blob in game yet, so I might miss some details, but the first thing you want to do is search for a safe, hidden place to transform. And if you have the chance, reinforce the place with walls and block any access to the room. Blob will end up destroying all of it anyways, but it will buy you time. Make sure to block all windows to prevent crew from shooting lasers at you. Do not transform near space. Blob is very weak in space combat and people will simply shoot you until you die. Normal walls can do the job, but they are too weak for a robust barricade. You should use reinforced walls instead. If you cannot find any plasteel stacks, use a wrench on reinforced tables. Once you transform, be hasty. You are now on a timer before station receives an alert or someone sees you. Blob gameplay is Snowball Simulator. Use this little time to get a good setup. Blob will perform actions automatically, but you can use resource points to perform actions manually, like expanding. Alt-clicking a blob tile will reinforce it. Now it is more tanky and works like a wall, blocking gases in case Atmos tries to plasma fire you. You should 100% make reinforced tiles around your core. If it dies, you loose. Upgrading already upgraded tiles makes them reflective. They loose the brute damage resistance, but they will reflect lasers. The chances are not 100%. The blob can swap its chemicals, make blob factories, resource blobs, blob nodes, blobinauts, split and relocate. Downgrading special tiles will return some of the resources. Once we reach certain size or enough time passes, alert level will be set to red and a special announcement will be made. The first thing you want to do is to place down resource blobs. There can only be one resource blob and factory per node. Nodes will spread their own blob tiles and they need to be placed at least 6 tiles away. You really want to get more resource blobs as they will allow you to snowball harder later. Blob can spread to space, but it costs 15 resources. Blob factories will spawn spores that will attack and infect people. Once you grow really big, alert will be set to Delta, and the nuclear codes will be faxed to the station for the nuke to be detonated. Blob entities do whatever damage type your chemicals are. The one I'm using now is for regeneration and resource gain, not for raw damage. Blobinauts are ghost rolls. They will have simple mob AI until someone picks them. They heal on blob tiles and take damage on non-blob tiles. Once people are downed, spores will take over and turn them into blob zombies. Blob zombies are not player controlled and they have the same AI as monkeys. They will pick up anything they can use to kill you. Split core can only be done once. It will turn one of your nodes into its own. Ghost roll, blob. Blob is resistant to blunt but weak to heat. Reflective tiles don't have 100% reflect. They will fall at some point. You need to keep the pressure. Blob is somewhat weak right now. Incendiary ammo will absolutely wreck you. Your mob's AI does not work in space, and there is a bug that makes it so flashbangs can insta-kill your tiles. Once all blobs are down, alert will be set to green again. Now for chemicals, blazing oil does 15 heat and applies fire stacks. I think water weakness does not work. Explosive lattice makes you immune to explosions and more weak to heat. You will still die to nuke because blob dies if it's not on a tile, but the explosion itself will do nothing. Your spores explode when they die and your hits cause a tiny explosion. Electromagnetic web has a niche use if you need to kill either RCC or Borgs, but you will take more damage. It's better to stay with normal types unless you really need to get rid of Borgs, mechs or AI in the future. The regenerative material does 6 blunt and 15 toxin damage, so Borgs, mechs or IPC will only take the 6 blunt less damage than normal green one, but harder to heal or defend against for normal crew. You will produce one more resource and the core will heal faster. I would use this at the start if I'm undetected or save it for emergencies since it takes 70 resources to swap blob chemical. That's all for now. It's been a while since last video. I haven't played a lot of Space Station recently since Project Zomboid build 42 came out and I wanted to play it. Next video will 100% be about IPC since there will be another antag soon, the Mind Flayer, exclusive to the IPC race.